The foundation for proper tobogganing is proper stance and balance. You need to have a wide, solid base. The most important thing about stance is to be wide and low. All of the pyramids in Egypt, they were built with a wide base, are still standing. Those who were built on their tip fell over. First thing you want to do is to take your uphill ski and take a step upwards. And then take your downhill ski and slide it backwards. This helps twist your hips, and you help out more with the head and shoulders and arms all facing straight downhill. As you move into the proper stance, you'll feel the zone of pressure go on to the balls of your feet. When your head and shoulders and hips are all facing down the fall line and you've widened out your stance. If you come up out of the fall line, you feel the pressures shift back onto the heels. And as you drop back down to your stance, that goes back down onto the balls of your feet. This is called the static rope-a-goat exercise. This tests the balance, the stance that we've just worked on. What this will do is show whether you really have a good wide base to your stance or whether you're off balance to one side or another. When we do a belay here at Alpental, you'll want to put your uphill hand next to a knot and put it over the top of your uphill thigh, somewhere between the thigh and your hip bone. Lock it in there, and that'll put the weight from this rope, transfer it directly down into your skis. Now what Sean is going to do is he's going to put tension on this rope. We're going to test this stance and balance that we just worked on.
Have your candidates pair up and try to pull each other off their skis. Watch for correct power, stance, and balance. Later, during tail rope training, you'll return to this drill if the candidates have difficulty. Snowboarders do a similar belay drill. The rope wraps around the waist and is held with both hands in front. The following ski drills are the foundation for everything we do with a sled. They follow your cheat sheet, so be sure to do them all. Candidates should control speed without side slipping. They should stomp out a platform, kick up the downhill ski near the tip of the other ski, then follow the ski tip with their head and shoulders, bending at the waist and weighting the skis. This drill emphasizes hip and shoulder rotation. Have the candidate put their uphill hand on the downhill boot top. The praying mantis is about balance and edge control. Watch that the uphill ski tip stays in contact with the snow, weight is on the ball of the foot, speed is under control, and the arm position is exaggerated. Note, if the tip comes up, the weight is on the heel. Make the correction immediately. Some candidates have a serious problem mastering the praying mantis, so practice until they get it right. We call this funny-looking drill the penguin. Its sole purpose is to make the candidate aware of their balance on the ski. Making penguin noises is optional. Side slip drills are always done in a power stance. Practice them. You can't do too much side slipping in the power stance. The exaggerated head and shoulders movement emphasizes the shifting of weight on the skis. In moguls, the best route is along the crest, not in the troughs. A follow-the-leader drill will help candidates recognize the correct path. Snowboarders do these same drills, but add the sun-moon and wedgie dance. Of course, these are hard to demonstrate if you're not on a snowboard. Next, have candidates practice moving direction changes. Emphasize the power stance and speed control. No carving. Teach the pump next. The pump simulates checking the sled during a direction change. This drill will make more sense to your candidates later when they have a sled behind them. It starts with an edge check, the hands sliding forward. Then the hips move forward as the hands are pushed back. Step across the fall line and settle back into a power stance. Do the praying mantis with side slip on a steeper slope. This is especially useful if a candidate is still on his heels. With snowboarders, emphasize clear, crisp direction changes. Rope-a-goat simulates tail rope sled running. Introduce the two-hand swap technique before doing direction changes. Watch their grips. The thumb should be pointing downhill. In the sliding hand technique, the two hands swap positions on the rope. The rope slides through the hands, returning them to their original position on the knots. Tension on the rope is maintained by the downhill hand until the end of the turn. Watch that candidates do not walk up the rope by forgetting the slide. But at Alpental, we prefer the anchor hand technique. The anchor hand stays on the same knot. The other hand moves to the knot above or below the anchor hand. The advantage to this method is simplicity, and constant tension is kept on the rope. Of course, snowboarders simply hold the belay position on the heel side edge.